talks about redefining or rethinking the financing journey, which of course is really important. But I think it's also really important to note that there isn't necessarily a right or wrong answer to what the best way is to fund an impact enterprise. And the answer is really going to depend, or really going to vary depending on the individual business, the founder's preferences, the sector, geography, all of these different types of things. And what we're seeing in the ecosystem is an increase in the number of founders, funders, supporters who are questioning this paradigm of how to fund a scalable and impactful business. But I would say that all of us collectively, really, as an ecosystem, are on like a learning journey, really, where we're testing and experimenting, iterating on these new approaches that work better for funders and founders. Even as we were building Capital Explorer, which is a tool that we mentioned in the article, we would often hear just it depends whenever we would speak with an investor around the criteria that makes a business suitable or not for a financing option. And so I think that really just shows that there isn't a blueprint or a validated, just foolproof methodology for fundraising that works for any and all businesses. And so I think it's really important for us to approach this topic with a lot of curiosity and creativity in exploring what others have done, what they're doing, and even exploring new alternatives for what could be done. With Capital Explorer, we were really trying to help founders not just explore funding options, like what could potentially be possible, but also help them identify kind of what are those questions and factors that they should consider to inform their fundraising strategy more broadly. And in that same vein, I think it's also important to highlight that there are a lot of innovative options or alternative options that aren't as available as venture capital, which I think almost sounds like an oxymoron given how challenging it is to raise venture capital to begin with. But so while there's this increase in testing new alternatives, I think it's really important to recognize that founders' options are limited in general, even in the case of venture capital, even if it were suitable for any and all businesses, but even more so if there don't happen to be a ton of alternatives available locally. And so this kind of touches on a different point, which we refer to in the article, which is around not only rethinking fundraising, but also rethinking success and how we define success. So the system really focuses on valuations and funding rounds as these metrics. And while fundraising is no doubt incredibly important and a lot should continue to be done to reduce barriers to capital, which is our mission at Village Capital, there's also something about just rethinking the pace and the growth strategy of a business in a way that fundraising is really a means to an end and not the end in and of itself. So all to say, I'd say that the fact that there really aren't defined answers, there's no, silver bullet, that we're seeing that the paradigm doesn't work for a lot of founders, and that there are innovative options emerging. I think all of this really underscores the importance of innovating, testing, experimenting, and really highlights the significant need that there is for investors, donors, LPs, to just actively and more intentionally explore how we might better fund and support a wider range of businesses.